guys, Sean here. Today I want to talk about playing Ivy with your teammates on CT Train. This spot is one of the few spots in all of Counter-Strike that I get questions about all the time. And I think the reason being is because it requires a lot of teamwork. So to start off, at the start of the round, you could obviously die to mid. So coming by Ivy, you do have to be aware of mid runouts as an Ivy player. I know it's weird. You're the Ivy player, but you also have to worry about mid runouts because on the way to Ivy, you could obviously die to a mid runout right here. Similarly, if they were to run out mid on an exec, you would have to counter that with your own grenades as the Ivy player. You would probably want a molly sandwich unless this is designed by one of your teammates. So you'd probably want a molly like around sandwich and then smoke Ivy. And the reason why you'd want a molly sandwich is because if the T's were to put it out, you would then just, be able to step forward and spray through the smoke and get a free kill. And you would maintain control of this entire area, which you wouldn't be able to do if you mollied way deeper or shallower than that location. So the next thing is actually playing with your teammates, right? So to start, if you wanted to get aggressive on Ivy, there's a couple different options you have, right? One being you could have your opper, whether it be you or your teammate, come to the end of Ivy and pick this, and then support them either with a flash, or you could support them from the box right here. And basically the second they shoot, you smoke, they run back, and you guys do a head stack on the box. So this, you would get either the first kill or the second kill, depending on if he misses or hits a shot from this box. Because typically T's would chase down that opper if he misses, and you'd be set up for that second kill rather easily. Another cool setup that you'll see a lot of pro teams doing, I think it was made popular by SK, is having a guy on this wall. And the reason why this is cool is because a lot of teams run boost over. So this guy would be able to kill the guy that gets run boosted over. And then you have the op guard him from deep, right? So you'd have the op guard him from deep for the left peek. This guy's more worried about the guy that jumps across. And you basically end up walking away either with a 2-for-1 scenario or like you get 2 kills, they get 0 kills scenario. The next aggressive little thing that you guys could do, this is like more of like an info play where you want to delay out the round and trying to really analyze where the T's are going. And also it ties into pop flashing Ivy, which I'll get into in a little bit. So you want to spawn, you want to come towards Ivy. This is right at the start of the round. You want to molly the back there by the boxes. And this basically will prevent anyone from running up on you, getting in that corner. And after that molly, you're immediately running here, and you want to throw a smoke hard off of that wall, like that. That goes right there in that alleyway. So the flow of it should be something like, you molly deep, you run up, and you, again, throw that smoke like that. It goes into the alleyway. And it would also be best, in my opinion, if you have a teammate throw a pop flash for you at the end of Ivy. So if there is anyone on the fringe of your molly, say like in this corner or that corner right there, you could then whip over and get those kills really easily. Now, this is important not because it's going to get you a lot of kills, but it's going to draw out the round and allow you to get a lot of information that basically sets your team up for success, right? So if a team were to take back Ivy after that smoke, you could technically be in this corner, you could be in that corner, you could be opping here, and they have to account for those spots, and they have to make noise typically to clear those spots. So if you are in those spots, you could potentially get those kills. If you're not in those spots, say somewhere like back here, you hear maybe the flash, you hear the molly behind that box. You then know, okay, I don't need to pop flash peek Ivy or even be worried about Ivy for another 10 seconds because they're still so worried about me being aggressive at this point. We can still play, 2, maybe even 3 people towards inner if there's one guy making that much noise by Ivy. So just something to set you up for success. Next is you want to have your teammates know pop flashes to help you at Ivy because it's a very difficult spot, right? So you want to delay your smoke, obviously, for as long as possible. And then once it fades, you can then time up, okay, so I smoked right here. That smoke's gonna last like 20 seconds. Hey, can you pop flash Ivy in like 22 seconds? Because around then, if they waited till the end of that smoke, they would probably be like around like right here, right? So your teammates would then know, say, the pop flash for here, where you basically go to this top line, double click a flash, and the flash is going to blow up right over Ivy like that. So it basically blinds anyone on either side of Ivy as well as in this corner. Same thing goes for, you know, this ladder. So you see this light blue line going down. You want to aim in the middle of this dark blue right here. So that will go in almost the same spot, you know, right in the middle of Ivy. And you would then be able to swing peek Ivy, clear that out. And you can do this time and time again. Obviously, he probably has 2 flashes. You could then rotate around and do the same thing again. So there's something to keep in mind, how to use your teammates for flashes and peek into Ivy for info. And the last thing I want to talk about is changing up your position drastically based on the setup of the round. And this is something I think a lot of teams struggle with. So if your team were to do, you know, a team mid push, so you could throw this smoke basically from back old bomb. You could throw this smoke from anywhere, to be honest. And your teammates could push into team mid. So you have 2 teammates in team mid, basically holding the smoke and the ladder run out. So you could hold a ladder run out from either here, or if you wanted to, daringly hold it from here. Not a very good angle. So they're holding mid, but what that allows you to do is play angles like this for Ivy. You could play sandwich, you know. And once you see that the smoke molly Ivy, you can then gauge like the timings of people working up Ivy. It allows you to then, you know, peek ladder for a split second and swivel back, help them out if you wanted to come in here, you know, take this fight real quick, and then swivel back to Ivy. And it gives you a lot more freedom and ability to be dynamic and active in the round, which is super cool. So I like, you know, as the Ivy player for my teammates to push in other areas because it makes the entire setup way stronger. And the same thing goes for a ladder setup. If your teammates were to do a ladder setup, say where a guy was in ladder holding ladder drop, and you had a second teammate, you know, anywhere ready to swing in the ladder, helping him, but also holding mid from anywhere, like here, even E-box could be anywhere, you know, just holding mid from somewhere. You could then, you know, play this side of E-box where you're guarded from mid, your teammate has the ladder, you're holding Ivy from a ridiculous off angle, and you're also able to swivel and help either one, right? So you could move, hold ladder like this, or you can move along the back wall, like away from Ivy, if you get your pathing right, and you could hold mid. You know, if your mid teammate dies, you could even fall back passively to the bomb train, or you could stay on this train actually, and then just time a peek into mid from this area. So it gives you a lot of freedoms, and it allows you to switch your spot up and give the other teams a fresh look, as opposed to playing Ivy in the same exact way every round, which I see a lot of teams do. So anyway, guys, I just want to give you guys some fresh ideas, maybe help you think about Ivy in a different way, because I think a lot of people are really frustrated with the spot that play it. I hope this helps everyone out. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Peace.